Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm here to do my May book haul. I have picked up not too small, but it isn't too big either, sized amount of books this month, partially because of Memorial Day weekend and all of the sales that have been going on. So the first book I picked up this month was An Untamed State by Roxane Gay, which I have actually already read because I couldn't wait very long to read this book. I will be putting up a review of this book on Thursday, so you guys can look forward to that. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it was pretty good and I have thoughts. So I will be talking about it fully in my review, so just look forward to that if you want to know more about it. I also picked up Behind the Beautiful Forevers by Catherine Boo. I picked this book up for the Nerdfighter book club, which is coming up soon. I think if you want to, understand what Jen's talking about in the videos, you have to read this by June 10th, I believe, so this will be read very, very soon, and this is a book that I have been basically eyeing since it came out, and I was just like waiting for it to come out in paperback, so it finally came out in paperback, and they picked it for the Nerdfighter book club for the summer, so I'll be reading this and I'm super excited about it. Next, I picked up the graphic novel March by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, and Nate Powell. I picked this up because Dee from Frenchie D did a review on it and it sounded super interesting, and I'm realizing that I really like graphic novels that are historical. So this one actually follows John Lewis during his time in the 1960s during the civil rights movement, hence the march, and you can tell if possibly that in the front cover these are people sitting at a counter for the sit-ins that were done during the 1960s. Then I went to Half Price Books because their sale for the weekend was 20% off everything, like your entire purchase, and so I went and I sold some books back, and then I used the money that I got from that to buy a couple more books. The first books I got were 2 more books in the Gal Girl series by Allie Carter, Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy, and Don't Judge a Girl by Her Cover. I read the first book in the Gallagher Girls series last year, I believe, and so I'm just slowly working my way through the rest of the series. And then I picked up Aleph the Unseen by G. Willow Wilson. This was a beautiful hardcover edition that was only $5. Full price, or like the list price, so it was less than that when I bought it. But I'm really excited to read this. I mostly heard really good things about this on BookTube, specifically from Alan J. She absolutely raves about this book all the time, so I'm kind of excited to read this. I think it's like young adult fantasy. I don't even know if it's young adult. It seems young adult, but I know it's fantasy because it was shelved in the fantasy section. And then I went to Barnes & Noble to use my 20% coupon to pick up some books, and more than I probably should have. The first book that I picked up was The Girls of Atomic City, The Untold Story of the Women Who Helped Win World War II by Denise Kiernan, I think that's how you say it. And then the next 2 books I picked up because these 2 authors have been getting a lot of really positive reviews, and they're both going to be in Chicago for Chicago's Printers Row Lit Fest. So I really want to go see them, but both of them are on the same day, and I think they are like back to back, like one's at 1 o'clock and one's at 2 o'clock or something along those lines. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to see both of them, but I'm going to read these books hopefully before the fest, so that way I can decide, like, if I have to pick between the 2, I'll know which one will be a slightly higher priority. The first one is The Un-Americans by Molly Antipole. I don't know how to say it. She was listed as one of the National Book Foundation's 5 Under 35. That's the first time I heard about her. I think this is her debut novel, and it's been getting like really good praise. Like, it's filled with like blurbs from different publications and different authors. And then the other book is The Storied Life of A.J. Thickery by Gabrielle Zevin. This is actually getting a lot of really good reviews. Also, her event is ticketed, which means it's free, but you have to pick a ticket before the event, and they might run out of room. So I can tell that this is definitely one that is getting a lot of attention, and even her event is getting a lot of attention because it's a ticketed event as opposed to just open to the public. I believe this story follows a man who runs a bookstore, and then his wife dies, and then he has like a really valuable Poe collection in his ownership that either gets stolen or he loses it or something along those lines, and so like everything in his life just seems to be going bad, and then he gets a package where he has the option of just like completely starting over. So I think it just follows his life after, and just the choices that he makes with his life now that he just seems to be going nowhere. So yeah, those are all of the books that I picked up this month. If you've read any of these books, feel free to leave your comments down below letting me know what you thought of them, if you liked them or didn't like them, or if there's a book that you're like, oh my gosh, you have to read this now, or I really want a review on it. Feel free to leave those comments down below as well. I'd always take those into consideration when I am figuring out what I want to be reading from week to week or day to day, however long it takes me to read my books. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.